Hi, my name's Jenny Spear. I'm looking at question number 1 and under reflection and inquiry, and it says choose 3 technology tools in your context. Hypothesize the future development, implementation, and impact these tools will have on education. So I chose 3 different tools. My context is that I'm a 7th grade English language arts teacher. Um, and I tried to look for tools that I've used before and that my students, that it would be easy for them to use as well. So the first one I've got up here on the screen right now is called NoRedInk. And I used this last year with my students, preparing them for the 7th grade Writing Star. One thing about 7th grade that I found in the 4 years that I've been teaching it is that a lot of students come in to 7th grade having not written for a few years. Now they took the 4th grade Writing Star and they were prepped for that. And then in 5th and 6th grade, writing just kind of went by the wayside. At that point, reading took the priority. Maybe they wrote a little bit, but not enough to really build up to the 7th grade Writing Star. So they come into 7th grade not only writing poorly, but lacking some grammar skills. Part of that comes from the way that they speak and text and all those kind of things. Anyhow, so I found that NoRedInk is a great tool to give to students to beef up their grammar, well, mostly their grammar skills. You can align this product in the premium version. It allows you to align your TEKS to this product, just so you know. So I'm going to show you a little bit about this. First of all, you can see I have a class period here from last year. I can go ahead and it allows me to assign stuff. It allows me to keep track of student data to see what students have and haven't completed. So you see I assigned 4 different assignments here. It tells me how much students actually did and didn't do. I basically use this for extra credit. And like I mentioned, because their grammar skills were weak. Anyhow, the next thing it allows you to do is create a diagnostic, a pre-test, and a post-test. So you can create one of your own, or you can use one that's already made. And then one of the fun things to do in this program is that the students get to choose their preferences as far as, well, let me show you. So if I go ahead and choose this active and passive voice, and I'll choose one of the subjects to practice on. You can choose lesson or practice. The teacher can assign a quiz, and this tells you how much you've worked on it. So I'm going to choose practice just to kind of demonstrate one of the things that it does that's fun. So the student actually puts in their own interests, and so it pops up with these funny little sentences here. Lord Voldemort will make a nice collage using these magazines. So this is kind of fun for the students. They think it's hilarious when their friends' names pop up or people like Lord Voldemort, and it just kind of motivates them to do the work. So that's nice. We're looking for active voice. We choose this. We submit our answer, and we go on. How I think that this is could be used in the future, or how I'm actually going to use this in the future, is maybe in a flipped classroom kind of capacity where students go on and they practice their verbs or they practice their complex and compound sentences, and then we will do some writing and they're focusing specifically on those things. I think that's how it could be used in the future in the classroom. I think in the future overall, or the impact that these tools will have in my classroom and in specific, that it will allow students to have stronger grammar skills, which they really need. and they really need to practice the STAR, to pass the STAR test, because there is a specific grammar section in the STAR test now. Okay, so that's my first. Oh, and did I mention that it's aligned to TEKS? So the premium version, you can align it to your TEKS, and so that makes it really easy. Now, the second one that I chose is another program that I use quite a bit, and it's called Common Lit. And what I love about Common Lit is it gives you a whole library of different stuff. Again, you can create your own classes, you can browse the library, which it has all different kinds of things in. You get to choose your grade level. You can set it by Lexile level. The great thing about this is it has a lot of expository text. So it doesn't just have fiction. Oh, well, that's bad. It doesn't just have fiction, it has things that are nonfiction. So let's find some. Let's go nonfiction. Oh, see here, nonfiction, opinion, political theory. You can choose what you want. Just maybe you can choose what you want. 7th grade. Well, most of the time you can choose what you want. Okay, so these are short stories. You can choose stuff that's in Spanish. You can choose stuff having to do with science. So it does let you choose. I don't know why it's not letting me choose right now. You can choose based on literary device. You can choose text sets, which are things related to each other. You can do it on theme. Okay, so there's lots of different ways that you can do it. You can search for something that you want to know about. So let's search for robots. So search robots in space. Robots in space. Okay, what is a robonaut? This is actually a really cool thing. And actually, this is really useful because there's an article that's used in one of the STAR tests that actually has to do with these robonauts. Anyway, so I like that you're able to search for things. I like that you can pair text. Has a teacher's guide and a parent guide. You can annotate. It gives you questions. It gives you assessment questions. It gives you discussion questions. The only thing that it doesn't do, and what I hope it'll do in the future, is that it's not aligned to TEKS. It is aligned to Common Core, those things, but it's not aligned to TEKS. So I hope in the future that'll be something that happens. I think that our students really aren't exposed to enough expository texts. If they can't read, most of them don't read for pleasure. And if they are reading for pleasure, it's it's fiction. So most of them don't read a lot of fiction or nonfiction, excuse me, unless they're forced into it. But I think there's a lot of interesting nonfiction out there if they could be exposed to it and if it's new enough. I dealt with a required program in my last school district where students had to read expository texts. But a lot of those texts were really old, like 2009. And anyway, they didn't have a lot of new stuff, but Common Lit doesn't seem to have that problem. They generally stay pretty up to date with their new texts. So that's great. So I'm hoping that in the future, this will allow students to be more aware of things that are going on in their world. And it also allows them to connect to other people and understand, be sympathetic and empathetic of things going on out there in the world. And anyway, the last one that I'm going to talk about is actually this program. It's called Screencast-O-Matic, and I use this program a lot. And some of the really fun features of this program are that you can go along on your computer and record things really easy. It's really easy to use and it's free and it's very student friendly. So some of the features on this. Let's see if I can actually pull it up. Anyway, some of the things that allows you to do is to, like I said, record your screen. You can record yourself with the screen and yourself on one side and the screen on the other side, but because I didn't set that up to do this from the beginning, it's not doing it. So anyway, it's a really fun and easy tool to use. And I think that how this is going to be useful in the future is that, again, it's going to connect students to other people out there in the world. It's going to allow them to be heard and allow their ideas to be shared. And I just think that it's a great tool that's really easy to use. And that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.